Hello and welcome to Board Stupid. My name's Wayne.
And I'm Matt.
And the Spiel des Jahre is one of the most prestigious awards in board gaming. It's something that I've followed for many years at this point, Matt, and we thought it would be a really good idea to do a series all about the history of the Spiel des Jahre winners.
That would be pretty cool to understand what the award is, why it's awarded, why it's important, how it's awarded, and having a look to a little bit into the past of the board gaming industry, the board gaming community.
Absolutely.
See what was hot years ago, and we will see during this series when we start hitting the 90s stuff. We'll start recognize a few of the game. We got a few of the
some around here, absolutely, in the collection
of the very famous game that actually won these awards. And let's have a look.
Yeah, and I'm really interested to see and sort of demonstrate, hopefully, through this series. Thinking maybe 4, maybe 5 parts. Not sure yet. We'll see how we go. Just the evolution of board gaming and like how that's really changed and innovated designs. Right? It's because there are some points that you can recognize when you look through the history where it's really exploded certain types of games that have just come out from that. So this is going to be a really exciting series, and I hope you join the ride, and hopefully it will be just over when the Spiel des Jahre for this year will be announced. But before that, Matt,
I think if you want to win an award, you should click the subscribe button. You definitely win.
You win the subscribe award.
Yeah, our hearts.
You win our hearts. the Spiel des Jahre for you.
So please hit the subscribe button.
Absolutely.
And after that, if you wanna buy some nice graphic tees or some amazing geeky clothes and stuff like that,
nice t-shirts, nice casual wear, please go check out
into the link in the description, or when you do that, just use the code that you can see here on the screen, the Board Stupid code, because that's going to give you 10% on top of any other discount that you can find on the website. And definitely have a browse, because they got
great stuff on there.
Absolutely amazing graphic t-shirts. They got new design coming out all time, and they are amazing fit, amazing qualities. They're really good qualities. Just like this one has been washed already a lot of times, and still all the graphics stays on the t-shirt. It's fantastic. So definitely have a look.
Yeah, so great quality t-shirts, and let's look at some great quality games.
Okay, Wayne, let's start this with what is Spiel des Jahre?
That's a great question.
What actually is?
Spiel des Jahre is German for Game of the Year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, right, so boom, Game of the Year. This was an award that started in 1979 by a chap called Jürgen Hertz. A avid board gamer, friends with like journalists in the board game industry and various publishers and designers, and he was quite upset that the wider knowledge of board games was like chess and checkers, and that's basically it. So he thought to himself, why don't we come up with an award that recognizes the best games that have been released this year, or the best game that is released each year? And that essentially turned into an entire industry at that point onwards. It escalated, they created their whole company, the Spiel des Jahre organization, and it has exploded from there. It's now, at this point, the most prestigious board games award in the world. It's been going ever since 1979. From 2001, they introduced the Kinderspiel, which is the Child's Game Award.
So it's a second. It's more like a lighter for
much
families
like
and
children.
kids.
Yeah, exactly. And then in 2011, they introduced the Kennerspiel, which is what the rough translation is like the connoisseur's game.
So it's more like for the heavier,
slightly heavier, or hobby gamers.
The games for gamers, basically, not just for the general public. So we will see when we go to there.
When you get to the 2000s,
those are the titles that everybody recognizes at this point. But
absolutely. And what you'll also see is how the tastes of the judges have changed as well, where some of the stuff from the 90s would probably be Kennerspiel these days, because the Spiel des Jahre tends to be a little bit lighter at the moment. But that can change.
And talking about that, so how is this award been given. So what are the rules for the games?
Absolutely. So there is an elected lot of judges. So the judges are always part of the board game industry in Germany.
Okay.
In order to be eligible, the game must be out in common release retail. So no Kickstarter stuff.
Yep.
Must be common release. Must have a German edition available.
Okay.
So if it doesn't have a German edition,
You
that
can't
be qualified, which is why many games get released in German as well as English.
Fair enough.
So if you're wondering
lucky
why there are
German guys,
Yeah.
lucky you.
So if you're wondering why there's so many German editions of games, that's probably why.
But it's one of the biggest market. We
It
see
is
like
probably the
how-
biggest market apart from the US.
But in terms of US is because of the scale of the market is way bigger. But Germany, like
Everyone plays board games. It's like
it's
and it's a huge country, to be fair. Germany's massive.
Yeah, but I really love the fact that the board games in Germany are part of the common people life. It's
like a
not
cultural
just
thing,
like
yeah.
it's a very much a cultural thing. So yeah, lucky you, German.
Yeah,
folks.
absolutely. Lucky you, German fans. And also it is the home of Essen, as we know.
Yeah,
So.
exactly. Yeah.
So aside from having to have rules released in German, the rules have to be clear, they have to be concise, there can't be any weird ambiguities,
Yep.
so they put a lot of emphasis on the rulebook. And it must have been released in the past year, so in the German market.
Yeah.
So there is that. The judges will make a decision, they're all like industry people, and then they'll have nominees. And then the nominees will be released, and that's like the shortlist for the Spiel des Jahre. Then the judge will make the final decision based on the shortlist.
So there is no public
votes.
influence to it. So it's purely professional.
And even
people
more than
play,
that, there is,
voting.
exactly. There is no public influence and there is no industry influence either. Because they're just journalists. They don't take review copies. They don't take payment. There is no prize money.
Okay.
So there's no bribery or nonsense. It's as independent as it can
That's
be.
that's really cool. It is different from something like the BGG awards.
Yes.
Because that is from the public, the vote online, or all the kinds of awards. So this is like industry is a industry journalists that vote on it. So yeah, enjoy, very efficient.
Very efficient decision making, but it has its own statute because of the way that the organisation is set up. It's got specific rules and you know what judges can and can't do, and impartiality and all that sort of stuff. So
it sounds more like the Nobel for board
a
games.
little bit.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like
Instead
that.
of being the Oscars,
it's more like that. Yeah, quite. Like so, it's very interesting, and like I'm very excited to see the history. So there we go. That's a little bit about what the Spiel des Jahre is, and even if you're nominated, it's a massive deal. And you'll see publishers put it on the box. It doesn't even matter if you win. It's like, I was nominated out of the 5,000 games released this year.
It's
I'm putting it on my box.
It's the same things for the movies when they say like, received like 20 nominees for, even if you don't win, it's still like you were
nominated for 20 awards or whatever.
Yeah. So,
and one more interesting tidbit before we dig into the 80s is you can only have the award logo, Spiel des Jahre, on your box for 3 years.
oh wow.
To make sure that the logo is always relevant to the most recent games.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, really interesting.
Yeah.
So after that, you can always write on the box, the Spiel des
not
Jahre,
the logo,
but not the Spiel des Jahre
the
logo,
golden,
the golden
yeah,
thing. Yeah. So there we go. A little bit of interesting info about the background of the Spiel des Jahre.
And let's go back in time.
Let's go back in time to the 80s, baby. So, Matt, this is what we're going to do. A lot of these games, I've done some research on, but I'm pretty sure you don't know much about the 80s ones.
No.
When we get to the 90s, this is going to be a little bit more interactive and we'll talk about the games, but this is going to be a fun and interesting exercise. I'm going to talk about the games in order of year one, from oldest to most recent, up to the end of the 80s. I'm going to give Matt a description, whether it's in print or not, and the BGG rating.
Okay.
And then we're going to snap to a picture and we're going to get Matt's reaction of
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So the first game that was won was 1979. It was called Hare and Tortoise by the designer David Parlett.
Okay. And this is the origin. This is the first.
This was the thing that won the award, that set the whole thing off.
Okay.
So it's the first winner of the Spiel des Jahre in 1979. Hare and Tortoise, or in German, Hase und Igel, for hare and hedgehog, will always be regarded as a classic. It's a cunningly designed race to the finish line in which your fuel, which is carrots, must be practically run out, all but 10 carats or fewer, the moment you hit the finish line. You also have 3 lettuce cards that you spend during the course of the race, and the farther you move, the more carats you spend. There are a variety of ways to gain or lose carats as you go around the track, and apparently it's quite a clever exercise in arithmetic.
So it's a racing game
with a resource
based on the
Heron.
The Heron.
Exactly.
Okay.
It is still in print.
Wow.
From 1970, so it's still being printed.
Okay.
There is quite a nice looking sort of black and red version on Amazon by Gibson Games.
Okay.
So BGG currently has this rated at 6.6.
Okay, so it didn't. Well, it's a game from 79 and it's still over 6.
It's not bad, really.
It means that it lasted like in time, like literally we're talking about over
50 years. Almost, yeah.
So
it's still all right.
Okay.
So, we have to look at it.
Go on, show it to me.
Aaron Tortoise.
Oh, okay.
What do you think of that?
Yeah, it looks a lot like the what's the name? Stairs and Ladders.
Oh, like Snakes and Ladders.
Yeah, Snakes and Ladders.
You can see the track here, sort of going around, and the carrots that you pick up.
It gave me like Snakes and Ladders feeling, but I would not.
Not too bad for 79, is it?
I would say
inside the box there could have been worse.
Cards, no. Look at that. You got even insert for those coins there, for those tokens.
That's some
you know what?
Not bad.
Not bad. So very interesting.
Yeah, cool.
Very interesting. Perfect.
Moving into 1980. 1980's winner, Matt, was a game called Rummy Cub. Are you familiar with Rummy Cub?
No, I don't even know. What's a Rummy Cub?
Well, okay. I think this is. It was designed by Ephraim Hertzano. It's similar to lots of different European older card games, which are normally played with 2 decks of cards. This chap, Ephraim Hertzano, invented the tile game Rummy Cub in the 40s.
Okay.
So it's been out for a while, and then this game was released in 1980, published properly.
Okay.
Modern Rummy Cub has a couple of different rules. Like Rummy, that you would play with cards, you're trying to get rid of all of your tiles by forming numbers into runs of 3 tiles or more.
Okay.
Or 3 to 4 of a kind. When you do that, you can get rid of your tiles. You want to get rid of all.
Oh, wait! I know this game.
I thought you might know this.
I know this game.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. We play a lot with my mother-in-law.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's one of the games. Yeah, and they got a version probably from that time, which is very, very. I love this game.
Well, there we go.
I know it very well. Yeah, the name. I didn't pick up the name, but
might be different in Italia.
I do love this game. Yes.
So it is obviously still in print. You can buy Rummy Cub basically everywhere. You can find it in toy shops. You can find it in bookshops. It's a 6.5 on BGG.
And fair enough. I will.
And is that familiar to you? Ish.
I will play this game every time. Yeah, every time that we got the chance. I think it's a very clever game.
Yeah.
It's a very interactive and fun to play around the table. It's not heavy, but at the same time, there's a lot of math that needs to happen. That I love it. I love this game.
There you go, Rummy Cub. Moving into 1981 is a game called Focus by Sid Saxon. Now, Focus, or Domination, is an abstract strategy game in which players attempt to make moves and capture pieces in such a manner that their opponent has no moves remaining. On a turn, a player can move a piece or a stack of pieces based on the number of pieces that comprise it, as well as the number of pieces to be moved. My God, that's a mouthful. When a stack grows over 5 pieces large, pieces from the bottom of the stack are removed to bring the stack back down. Okay, so I think the bigger it grows, the further it moves.
Okay.
So that's quite an interesting thought. So there's that, a little bit about the game. It is not in print. I couldn't find a single copy of this game anywhere. It's, again, a 6.5 on BGG.
So still
kind of doing okay. And what you'll notice
for a game not being in print anymore, it's
sort of still there or thereabouts. Should we take a look at it?
Yeah.
Let's take a look at it. Let's get Matt's reaction for Focus.
Okay. It looks like the setup at the start looks like what's the Chinese game? where you move the tiles. I can't remember.
I can't remember.
Yeah. Okay. It's kind of like a familiar.
It looks very familiar, doesn't it? When I did the research on this, I was like, I swear I've seen this before.
Okay. Well, it looks like production as well for being an 80s game is
Lots of plastic.
Really interesting.
Yeah.
Domination. Yeah.
Right, yeah. So domination, or otherwise known as Focus. By Sid Sackson.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
Interesting. Probably. It's probably like one of those family games. Where you hit the tiles. Yeah.
There's like an Othello type thing. Or checkers type
cool.
thing. Yeah, interesting. Cool. In 1982, the winner was Enchanted Forest, and that was designed by Alex Randolph and Michael Matschos. For this game, you've got one treasure hidden under each tree in a forest. As you move from tree to tree, you get to peek at the treasures that you find. You need to remember where each one is hidden. And when the king asks where one of the treasures is, players need to race to reach the castle with the right information. So you're trying to find information, peeking at cards, and then when you think you've got it, you go to the castle and you hand in the information. You then chuck your dice to make your way over to the castle, so a little bit of dice chucking as well. And then you go from there and hopefully win. The player who's collected the most treasures is the winner. So Enchanted Forest, it says here, is a game of memory and strategy.
Yeah, it sounded to me like at the start when you pick cards, it's like like the game memory.
Yeah, exactly. So it is still in print.
Okay.
Ravensburger keeps printing it.
Yeah.
It is a 5.7 on BGG. So
yeah, it sounds very more like today would have been like a kid's game, maybe.
I think you're right. This is much lighter, I think.
Yeah.
I think this is a much lighter game.
Okay, let's have a look.
Let's take a look at it. So this is Enchanted Forest.
Oh, it looks nice.
Looks all right, doesn't it,
Yeah.
actually? Especially, I don't know if this is a new or an old version of it, but let's take a look at all of the images and see if we can find a few different ones for you. No, it all seems to be
with this like a plastic tree.
I think that might be the newest edition of it.
Okay.
You got some cards in there as well. There you go. Not too bad, actually. Have you been pleasantly surprised so far by the productions of these older games?
Actually, yes. Yes. I would have thought that a lot of like just cardboards and cards.
I will say the art design is quite flat.
It is, but we're talking about that
1982, 1984.
I think that changes in the
mid to late 90s. Yeah, it gets a bit more spicy.
But it looks like very much like a kid's game. So, but if Ravensburger is still printing it,
still doing well.
That's a reason why. So probably they're still selling it quite a lot.
Yeah.
So great.
The winner in 1983 is a game called Scotland Yard. Now, in Scotland Yard, this is a one versus all game, which I think this was the innovator of that whole genre.
Okay.
So one of the players, well, apart from like D&D and stuff like that, in terms of board gaming maybe, one of the players takes on the role of Mr. X. His job is to move from point to point around the map in London, taking taxis, buses, or subways. The detectives, that is, everybody else at the table, act in concert, move around similarly in an effort to move to the same space as Mr. X. But while the criminal's mode of transportation is nearly always known, his location is only sort of given at various points in the game.
Okay.
So for the most part, you don't know where Mr. X is, but there'll be points where you'll find out. And you have to try and
So the other player trying to catch the...
Yeah.
I think I know the game.
You think you know the game?
Yeah, I think it had a lot of reprints during the year. It's Scotland Yard.
Scotland's had a few.
I did not play it, but I do know the game.
You're 100% right as well. It is still in print. Ravensburger still prints copies of this.
Yep.
So you can still get it. It is a 6.5 on BGG.
Yeah.
And I think you're quite familiar. Does that look familiar?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I do know the game. I think there was a very recent reprint. Or something like
they keep
that,
spitting them out.
That's fine. It's it's a hidden movement, one versus all, and it's very it's cool to know that this was the one that actually
started the whole boom.
Absolutely, that's great.
Not bad, eh?
No.
In 1984, the winner was a game called Damp Frost by David G. Watts. The game was designed by a teacher. So David, I assume, was a teacher as a learning tool. There's lots of different editions of this game. Released in the UK as Railway Rivals. Most feature hexagonal maps of real locations based on whatever market they were released in, like Tennessee or Germany. Starting from one of the pictures, cities pictures on the map, players build track during the first part of the game, and you'll receive a small bonus for reaching a city before anyone else. So you can see that this is kind of a genesis of those route building type games.
Yeah, it sounds
like Ticket to Ride, that sort of thing, right?
to Ride,
yeah,
yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
Several races are then held on the resultant track. The starting city and destination city are determined randomly, and players can use each other's track for a nominal fee. After all of the races have been held, the player with the largest bank account is the winner. So it does a couple of things: a little bit of economy, a little bit of racing, a little bit of route building. It's quite interesting. It is not in print anymore. You can find used copies. That I've done some research, so they are available.
Of the
Railway
UK
Rivals,
version,
the UK version. Yeah, it's a 6.2 on BGG.
Okay, well,
take a look.
40 years old. Yeah, let's
Not
have
bad.
a look.
Let's take a look.
Okay. Oh, wow. I was not expecting like an hexagonal map.
It is literally a hexagonal map.
Okay.
It is.
It looks brown.
Looks very brown.
Yeah.
I mean, that's in terms of.
So did you draw on it?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. I mean,
yeah, there's a lot of like colored pen. Yeah.
Possibly the worst production so far.
This is the worst. Well, you say the worst production, but if those if the board is one of those where you can draw and cancel on it.
Wipe clean. Okay.
Yeah, might be. I will not play it, and I will not buy it.
You'll not buy it.
But it looks.
It's very dry.
Yeah.
It's very dry. All right.
Well, dry. Yeah, I would say dry, but hey, if you want, you want.
In 1985, the winner was Sherlock Holmes, Consulting Detective.
Okay.
Now, this game started to innovate things like the adventure game in a box.
Okay.
Right? So with Sherlock Holmes, it says that you capture the mystery and excitement of Holmes's London in this challenging and informative game. You, the player, will match your deductive abilities against your opponents and the master sleuth himself, Sherlock Holmes. In threads of evidence, through the byways and mansions of 19th century London, you're presented with a mystery to solve. You interview suspects, search newspapers for clues, and put together the facts. Yeah, exactly, to reach a solution. So you have some cases in the box, and you need to use your ingenuity and your deductive ability to get the solution. It's kind of not really a board game, but it has some board game elements.
First things I think is the 1800 or 20. What's the
Chronicles of Crime?
Chronicles of Crime.
I think this is the birth of that.
That is a board, and of course it's done with Sherlock Holmes. Which character?
Makes sense. Yeah, very famous.
I'm actually really interested. Is this still on?
Still widely available.
Widely available.
It's still widely in print.
Actually. Yeah, let's see what it looks like.
Okay, and BGG gives it a 7.6.
Wow.
So this is the highest rated one so far.
Wait a second. It's a game from 1985,
yes.
So 39 years old right now.
Yeah.
And it's still got a 7.6.
And it's still in print.
I would say this is massive, because the 7.6 on BGG is
huge.
A lot.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look. I'm very curious.
Let's go take a look at Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective. So you see you've got some stuff in the box there. This is the original version, obviously. Yeah. So this is going to be a little bit crummier looking, I suppose, than the current one. That's the current box, which looks very nice. There are lots of different versions of it now. Let me just skip through this. That's what the current one kind of looks like.
I really like it. It looks like it's a chronicle of crimes.
You've got like newspaper articles
and
to look
I really
through.
like it. It's kind of like one of those escape room in a box or something like that.
And again, it kind of innovated that sort of thing
But no, amazing. To be honest, I will be interested to getting a copy
maybe get a copy of that.
Yeah, but I do love Sherlock Holmes. It's me and my dad hero.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, my dad every time he comes to London, he needs to go to Baker Street.
Yeah, I love it. Gotta go check it out. That's really cool.
But yeah, no, this one is the first one that I will say I will buy a copy of this.
Very nice. Moving into 1986, we have the first appearance of the legendary Wolfgang Kramer, Wolfgang, and he won a few of these, did Wolfgang, and this is his first win, and it's a game called Heimlich and Co.
What is it about?
So, the game board in Heimlich and Co. is an oval movement track with points allocated to various spaces, and 7 differently coloured spies are placed on the board. On a player's turn, you roll a dice, then move any combination of the characters forward that number of spaces. The newly moved spies will then score points based on their new location. However, the trick here is that every player's colour isn't known until the end of the game. So you're moving all the pieces, and you know your colour, but you don't know who everyone else's colour is.
Okay, interesting.
Right? And likewise. So players are encouraged to deduce which colour belongs to whom. Heimlich & Co. includes advanced rules which allows players to score more points at the end of the game for correctly guessing everyone's identity. Based on what people are moving, you'd be like, so I think you're that guy.
Okay, so it's...
You've got to move, but you can't be too obvious about moving your own.
Yeah.
Right?
Kind of like social deduction or... Okay, interesting. And is this one still available?
Do you think it's in print? What's your guess?
It sounds like something like this could be still out.
It is in print.
Cool.
By Amigo Games.
Okay.
It's a 6.5 on BGG, so still rated okay.
Kept it.
It kept okay.
Let's have a look.
This is Heimlich & Co.
Okay, is this probably,
This is the recent...
The original one.
This is the recent print, the new print. What do you think?
It looks more like a kid games, but...
It has that kind of vibe, doesn't it? But the production for this new version looks actually very good.
Yeah.
Should we go find the original and take a look at that?
Yeah.
Excellent. So I think there is a one right here. This looks like it. There we go. And that's still not bad.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay.
Much browner.
Interesting. It's interesting. Not really interested.
Not really interested in this one?
No, not this one.
Fair enough. 1987's winner was a game called Auf Asch. I know, right? And this Wolfgang repeated the trick this year.
Okay, so it's again Wolfgang
Kramer.
So 2 in a row.
2 in a row, which is massive, by the way.
2 in a row is a lot. Yeah,
absolutely. So in Auf Asch, roughly translated to On the Road, which is an appropriate title for this winner, where players deliver loads of commodities to various German and other European cities. You've got supply cities and demand cities, which are determined through card play, and players attempt to get delivery contracts by bidding against one another. Movements accomplished by rolling dice and then moving little rubber trucks around an abstract map which depicts lots of interconnected roads and cities in Germany and surrounding countries. What you see here is kind of the genesis of pick up and deliver games.
Yeah, sounds very much like
that. Games of that type. Again, and also a little bit of route mapping as well. So, what do you think? Still in print?
Not sure about this. Probably not.
Probably not?
Probably not.
Correct. It's not in print. Arcane Wonders are releasing a game this year.
That is based on...
It reimagines this game with new rules.
Yeah. I do get it. It's a mechanic that then became like bigger.
Slightly, yeah, but I still think it isn't done enough, I think, pick up and
No, but it could be, from the sounds of the description, sounds this one very dry, means like that is a mechanic and you need to play with that. But again, Wolfgang, few men, if you created this...
It's probably going to be all right. Should we take a look at it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Auf Asch.
Dry. Dry. Yeah, you see, you can probably move your trucks. I mean, moving trucks on this doesn't really appeal to me.
Does it not sing to you?
No. That's why the theme is very dry. However, I can see this...
A new production might be quite good, though,
I can see this adding a little bit more of, I don't know, more of a theme. It could be a thing.
Bit more color, maybe a slightly more interesting map. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, why the map's got mountains? It should be like have roads and stuff. I don't know. But hey, yeah, Wolfgang, you won, so you definitely won.
You do you, bro.
Yeah.
1988's winner was a game called Barbarossa by Klaus Tober.
Okay.
And I'll be honest, I was confused about this one.
I mean, you don't see it, but Wayne's notes are like things about this game.
I'm not going to read all these out.
Probably we can go to a general feeling
we'll
of the
get a
game.
general Okay. So start with, this gets a bit weird.
Okay.
You use modelling clay to start with to make objects that need to be guessed by the other players. Okay.
So it's Pictionary, but with clay. There's already a mess. You're already doing a mess on the table, right?
Then players take turns to move around the board by rolling a dice or spending gems. Okay. The spaces that you land on then determine different actions. Your players will get victory points, or, it gets a bit weird, you can ask a letter of an object, or you can ask general questions to make a single guess until you get a no answer. So you're moving around the board, which will give you actions to help you guess what other people have made out of their clay.
Yeah, but should not you be seeing what they...
But it's like abstract. So I think at the end of the game, you're trying to make it like, I don't know, you're trying to make people guess within a certain amount. So you don't want it to be accurate, but you don't want it to be...
not too difficult.
So it's kind of like that.
I mean, is it print? Of course not.
No, it's not a print.
I mean, think about a board game where you need to take out clay. And what do you do when the clay finish? I mean, you need to buy more clay.
I guess so, when it dries out.
It's a think about like the mess that you do on the.
It's still rated 6.3.
Yeah, maybe because let's have a look.
Should we take a look at it?
I can't really.
Barbarossa.
Yeah. Okay, so it's not clay. It's like
a
Play-Doh.
Yeah, like a squishy.
Yeah, Play-Doh.
Yeah.
How do you call it?
Yeah,
Bongo. Play-Doh.
Play-Doh.
Yeah. Weird. Weird.
This is a weird looking one.
Yeah, it's very abstract. I don't. To be honest, I will give it a go to play this because it just like looks very weird.
But it's probably the weirdest looking one.
Yeah, so far this has been the most abstract game. The board doesn't. I don't get the board. I think you can see there are positioning different things, so you might be able to do. Weird. I will.
You would play it?
I will play it.
Wouldn't buy it.
No. But I will play it. I will give it a go and see what it's actually about. Yeah.
Cool. So we got to the end of the 80s with 1989.
Yeah, let's see it.
So the last winner in the 80s was a game called Cafe International, designed by Rudy Hoffman. Now this game revolves around the placement of multinational customers in a restaurant. The board will show many different tables, each with 4 chairs around them. The tables are grouped by nation. So the Chinese like to sit with other Chinese. It says this in the description, I didn't say that. However, some of the chairs are on the border between 2 nations. So a person from either place could occupy the seat. Okay. To further complicate this odd tile game, each of the people is either male or female, and tables must be gender balanced. So as the game progresses, some tiles can't be played.
Okay, so it's placement, management.
Yeah, tile placement, puzzly game.
It's a puzzle game. Okay.
You're trying to get the most points by placing tiles in the right places, right?
Okay, yeah. It sounds interesting because it's a puzzle. I don't see it if it's that innovative, but probably before 89.
Probably 1989 might have been. Do you think it's in print?
Looking at the theme, no. Oh, probably it is in with a different theme, maybe. No.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
It is in print.
Okay.
It's exactly as it is.
It's exactly the same game.
By Rio Grande is got it in print.
Enough.
Absolutely.
What's the voting on BGG?
6.2. So.
Honest.
Yeah. All right. Should we take a look at it for the last game? This is Cafe International.
Oh, wow.
It looks pretty 80s.
Yeah, it came straight out from the 80s.
You see how you've got the tables with the nations.
Okay, so you've got Germans, American, Indian,
and then all of that, and then you've got the different
Russian,
men and
Cuban.
women, and they have to be near the right table, etc.
Okay, so what? The Cuban don't want to be next to the US.
I guess so.
Stuff like okay, it's weird. We got Italian with Chinese.
Ah, there you go.
And I can't even see.
Well, it's because there's the big debate about who invented spaghetti, right? It was the Chinese or it was the Italians.
Fair enough. Fair
don't know.
enough. No one knows the Italian. Yeah, interesting. It's a puzzle game. The production looks very dry, but probably a more modern looking would be interesting. Yeah.
Would you play it?
I will play it. Yes, I will play it
Would you
because
play it?
I do like a puzzle game.
Yeah. Like tile placement games are quite fun.
Yeah. Not sure if I will buy it, but I will definitely give it a go to play the game. Yes.
All right. So that was our exploration of the history of 1980s
Yeah.
Spiel des Jahre winners.
That was
Matt,
pretty.
what did you think?
Pretty interesting.
You think that was pretty interesting?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I knew a couple of them, not more than that.
But it's fun seeing where how certain genres came from in some ways,
Yeah.
like, or where they got popularized.
Yeah, no,
different
amazing,
mechanisms. Yeah.
amazing, and that gives a lot about what's going on,
Like in the future and today,
yeah.
even right, and the repercussions therein.
Now, I'm really looking forward to the next episode when we're gonna cover the 90s.
The 90s. Now this one gets really good. So
Yeah.
where there's many more games that we both know.
Yep.
Some real big hitters in the industry where you get some massive innovation.
Yeah.
So that one is going to be very, very exciting.
So stay tuned for the next episode.
Absolutely. So, and if you did like this little trip through time in the history of the Spiel des Jahre, please remember to hit the like button. And Matt, what do they need to
Hit
do?
the subscribe button
Hit the subscribe
right now.
No going back in time.
No, you
Just
need to do it
now. Exactly. Go and do that and check out the rest of our content.
Yeah, and after that, don't forget if you're looking for nice graphic T-shirts and you want to upgrade your wardrobe, just check the Into the AM link in the description using the Bold Stupid code at the checkout for a 10% discount on a lot of amazing stuff. So treat yourself.
Go treat yourself. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you again real soon.
Ciao.